Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to tell you what happens when you drink coffee with turmeric in the morning, that famous orange spice. Many people want to know the potential of making this mixture and the benefits it brings to our health, which are numerous. I'll explain how to prepare it. Stay until the end, you won't want to miss it. If you love tips on nutrition, health, and fitness, you're going to love this channel. So go ahead and subscribe, and remember to activate the notification bell to receive updates. I have new videos every day, and you're going to love them. Let's start talking more about this mixture. Many people have asked me to talk about this combination of coffee with turmeric on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning, right after waking up. So I'm answering your requests here. If you have any requests for me about any combination you've seen on the internet and you're unsure if it's good for you, if it's bad, or what the benefits are, leave it for me down below. I'll love to see your suggestion. And I already have a playlist with some great combinations for your health. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I'll leave it down below in the description for you, with other practical examples for you to incorporate into your daily routine. For example, there's banana with clove, garlic with ginger, and several other interesting combinations for your health. I'll leave them down below in the description for you. Before I start talking about this coffee and turmeric mixture, I want to remind you that turmeric, that orange root rich in curcumin, has many potential benefits for our health and can be used in powder or root form. Remember that I have a video here on the channel talking more about what happens when you eat turmeric every day, and there's also a video about the benefits of coffee for our health. I'll leave them down below in the description for you. But one of the main benefits when you mix coffee with turmeric first thing in the morning is that it can help make the weight loss process easier. There's a very interesting reason behind the synergy between the two. They have complementary and synergistic effects. First, because coffee helps stimulate the metabolism, it contains several active substances, one of which is caffeine, which boosts our metabolism and specifically promotes fat burning. Gives us more energy to handle our daily activities, and it also provides important support to the liver, which ultimately plays a key role in the weight loss process. Another major benefit is that the curcumin found in turmeric can help because it is a powerful anti-inflammatory, and we know that when we are less inflamed, it becomes easier for us to stay in the weight loss process. But turmeric is also linked to improving insulin sensitivity. We know that people with higher insulin resistance have a harder time losing weight. So, for this reason, consuming this mixture of turmeric with coffee actually makes perfect sense and can be a smart addition to a healthy routine. In fact, some studies have found that regular consumption of turmeric may be related to weight reduction, a decrease in BMI, which is the ratio of your weight to your height, and even a reduction in waist circumference, which is actually a good predictor of metabolic problems. Many people choose to take this mixture precisely in the morning, at breakfast, because of the boost it gives to their energy and the increase in alertness. Coffee already plays this role. Caffeine has a strong ability to wake up the brain, making you feel more energetic, more alert in the morning, more awake, and more focused. And turmeric is also closely linked to reducing fatigue and tiredness, helping your brain function better and improving cognitive performance. So, especially in the morning, it makes perfect sense to combine these two. This mixture can also be very beneficial for your brain health and your memory. Coffee is strongly associated with improving brain function, making us think faster and more agile, and even enhancing memory recall. And turmeric does this as well. Turmeric also has this very interesting ability to improve brain function, including enhancing the performance of brain cells and stimulating the growth of new brain cells, which ends up being very good for the proper functioning of the brain and the nervous system in a broader sense, as well as for maintaining good memory, which is extremely important, not just for those who are studying or for work, but for life itself in the medium and long term. This combination can also be extremely important for your liver health. One of the most studied foods for its beneficial relationship with the liver is coffee, which brings many effects to our liver. It helps reduce scar tissue in the liver, helps prevent problems related to liver injury, and even helps improve protection and the amount of antioxidants available to enhance overall liver function. And in the same way, because it is very rich in anti-inflammatory agents, turmeric can also greatly help your liver function. So if you want to protect your liver, it's a great idea to add this mixture to your daily routine. Another benefit of this mixture is that it can help control and even complementarily combat depression. Some studies have found that people who consume more coffee on a daily basis have a lower risk of developing depression, partly due to the compounds and the caffeine naturally present in coffee. And people who consume turmeric daily, thanks to its antioxidant power and its ability to protect the brain by reducing inflammation, can also help combat depression in another way. Of course, if you are already taking any medication or undergoing therapy, you should not replace that with coffee and turmeric, but remember that this can help you as a complementary approach. If you already have any health condition, are taking any medication, or are unsure whether you should try this combination, always consult your doctor or your nutritionist in your city. So, if you're excited and want to know how to consume this mixture, I want to tell you right away that for this to work and for you to get the benefits, the coffee needs to be black coffee, plain, simple coffee, without sugar, cream, whipped cream, condensed milk, or anything like that. So you have two options for making this mixture. You can either make your regular coffee, brewing it with just boiling water and coffee grounds in the filter, and then mix in the powdered turmeric. Usually for 1 cup of coffee, the ideal amount is about half a teaspoon of turmeric, more or less, depending on your tolerance. A teaspoon is quite small, but it's already a very good amount of turmeric to use. There's really no need to add more than that, otherwise it will simply be too much. If you put too much turmeric powder, like 2 teaspoons for example, there will be too much powder in the coffee, the ratio will be off, and it won't be pleasant to drink. So just use 1 teaspoon of turmeric, depending on your tolerance and what you're used to. If you're not going to use turmeric powder, if you're going to use the root, which you might have at home, you can do the following. Make a tea with it. Cut a piece of the root, about 1 inch, and boil it together with the water you'll use to make the coffee, about 1 cup of water. After it comes to a boil and simmers for about 5 or 10 minutes, you take that water, remove the turmeric, you don't need to use it anymore, and then you brew the coffee using that water in the filter. This way, you'll get the benefits of both of these highly beneficial ingredients. As I mentioned before, the ideal is that you don't sweeten it, that you don't add sugar, sweetener, cream, or anything like that. If it's absolutely essential for you, use a good quality sweetener, like stevia, for example. But usually it's a taste you acquire, similar to that of Indian tea. It ends up with a spiced flavor. In fact, if you want to add other spices to make the flavor even more pleasant, you can add a bit of clove, a bit of cinnamon, to further enhance the flavor of your coffee. It could be an interesting option. To ensure that the curcumin and the beneficial compounds in turmeric become more bioavailable for your body, the ideal approach is to include some type of healthy fat in that meal, which will help promote optimal absorption and maximize its effects. It doesn't have to be in your coffee itself. You don't need to add coconut oil or another fat to your coffee unless you want to. But for example, if you make scrambled eggs and have that for breakfast along with your coffee with turmeric, you'll enhance absorption. If you add a bit of black pepper to your eggs, it gets even better. Or if you use some type of drink or food at breakfast that contains avocado or flaxseed or chia to have a source of fat that helps with the absorption of curcumin, it will be even better for you in terms of bioavailability and health benefits. As I just mentioned to you, the fact that you take this mixture on an empty stomach in the morning doesn't mean you need to stay fasting to get the benefits. In fact, for some people, drinking black coffee in the morning and staying fasting is bad for the stomach and can cause some related problems. So, you can have this. When we say on an empty stomach, we mean with your first meal of the day, as if it were the drink you would normally have with your breakfast. If you want ideas for healthy breakfasts, I have a really nice video here talking about good breakfast ideas, how to make a healthy breakfast for your health and for weight loss. I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Let me know down below if you've already tried this mixture, if you're going to try it, if you're curious, how you plan to take it. I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video because that also helps me out, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it or needs it. Let's spread this chain of good together. That's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.